Committee of 1926, when they're given this house to be as a house museum to interpret it, we have no furniture inventories from either the Lewises or the Hemphills. So what they decided to do was make each room its own museum. However, they narrowed the scope down to the two periods that the families would have known. Now, the Lewises would have known of certainly the Georgian period of the federal furniture, and they would have also known a little bit into the Regency. Well, of course, the Hemphills, with their Francophileness, they were in here during the United States when the height of the Empire period. You're going to see all this old furniture. I have one room of reproduction, but we not only have old furniture, period furniture, we have furniture that belonged to old people. Period people, important people, which makes this house even more outstanding if we can't show you the furniture of the family. And it starts in this room. Here goes the story. 1790, the federal government here in Philadelphia appropriates funds for a dining room set for the President's White House, or for the President's house on the corner of 6th and Market. Well, today, as far as we know, there are 5 extant pieces in the United States. 2 are in the White House today, 1 is in Mount Vernon, and the other 2, well, they're at Strawberry Mansion, right here. These 2 chairs. So this Gilbert Stuart copy of George Washington is looking at his chairs right here. Now, these chairs are joined by an older period piece. This is a 1770 tea table, Philadelphia. This mantle is later in the house after Judge Lewis and Mrs. Lewis move in. What you're seeing here is not carved wood. The Adams style is so delicate. Remember I said it got feminine? Look at this. This is almost like a woman's boudoir. Rather than, it's not that heavy at you Georgian style, the Middle Georgian style that you would see at like Mount Pleasant or Woodford next door. It's very soft. And it also draws in the punch and gouge, as you can see. This is a Frederick Dominic clock, 1760, made in Philadelphia. When rooms start getting named, guess who starts it? The Italians in the Italian villa. And remember what this is. This is not a mansion, this is a villa. And so when they started naming rooms, they named them not by function, but where the sun was. So the morning room, Matina room. The evening room, the sala room. So this maybe they might have alluded to this Roman thing, we don't know. We know nothing about the colors in the rooms and stuff in this room outside, but we've used period colors. That and there's an Adams color. Look at the cream up there. And see, that's what this would have been, this woodwork would have been this cream that you see right here. The rest of the house, we know the period colors that they were using. So we've given you the whole gamut. We started out with the quiet Adams style, but now we're going to get excited. 1931 restoration, when they opened this originally as a house museum, they didn't know some things we know today. And one of the things we've learned today is that most of these villas or country seats did not use curtains. They preferred the Venetian blind. Now, the Venetian blinds, interestingly, of course, actually end up in this city. This is the first city in the United States to have them because we're the first to make them. And they're being made in 1759 here. And the first use of Venetian blinds in the United States is in St. Peter's Episcopal Church on Pine Street. So, yes, Venetian blinds were around. In fact, the gentleman who made them here in Philadelphia advertised you could get them any color you wanted. So the idea was you matched your Venetian blind with your color of your room. So these Venetian blinds should be green, probably, if we were really being authentic. But we left the ram head curtain rods. These are Roman ram's heads, so they fit in with the Adams style, remember, pulling from that Roman background. We just left them because they're too exquisite to take down as well. Over here we have the English Regency. So the Lewises would have known English Regency, even though this is not their furniture. And of course the Hemphills definitely would have known it. Regency is, just think of French Empire, just a different name. The first fine china, hard-paper porcelain made in the United States. Made in none other than the city of First, Philadelphia, just down the river between Market and Chestnut. It's called Tucker porcelain. You can compare it to the English gilt of China right next to it. So we Americans have to catch up a little bit. We're going to not only catch up, we're going to surpass it. And it'll be Philadelphia if it does it. So, on a regular tour, because I don't have time, Fairmount Park is fortunate to have two historic pianos in its system. The one at Laurel Hill you all know about. It's the only Broadwood piano in the Delaware Valley. Well, we can't say that about this piano, we just don't know. However, this is a Muzio Clementi piano. Very important. Muzio Clementi. Anyone take piano? Did anyone take it? And you may have studied Muzio Clementi, because only piano students study Muzio Clementi. The Muzio Clementi was the competitor and the winner over Mozart. However, Muzio Clementi has the title of the father of the modern piano because he's the first composer to write for the piano. Now we know the story, we heard about the story of this room like it's added in 1825. The Marquis de Lafayette, we believe this was put on. And it's because this waterworks. Because the waterworks is giving the drinking water to the city, and also this is the primary water for what else is being made in Philadelphia? Beer. And you have to have pure water for beer. And it can't be filled up with industrial garbage. So they finally, when this becomes public property of the city of Philadelphia in 1854 after the Incorporation Act, the city is now able to jump on and form Fairmount Park out of the Villa District. Why don't you come to the real stuff out here in Fairmount?